I'm Greg Miller, and you're listening to Rabbit Hole Media. It kind of sounds gross, but I don't think it is.
Hello and welcome to Press Start episode 102, your weekly video game podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. I am one of your hosts, Kristian, and as always and as usual, I am joined by the insatiable, the delectable, the Jeremy Clarkson of video games, Jack Netley Thompson.
Hello.
Hi Jack, how are you today?
I'm good.
Yeah, you well?
I am good. I am tired, aren't we all?
Uh-huh. Yep, that's basically... I've said this a lot over the past 10 years of my life, but being tired is just my personality. That's just part of me.
I think I'm the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not me when I'm not tired.
No. Kind of like a Snickers type situation, but with naps.
Exactly. I've been defeated.
What? What's happened? Indeed, in Croatian, I see.
And it's just come up with job application. But what are Croatian jobs?
Well, they're jobs in Croatia.
No, but I don't think they are.
They must be. They absolutely must be.
Oh, well.
Categorically.
Isn't Indeed just a UK thing? I don't know.
I don't know, maybe. Indeed. Hi, Rich. This is Press Start, your weekly video game podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. Don't forget, if you like what you're doing and what you're doing is watching us, you can follow us on Twitter at rabbithole_UK. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, where you can see us anytime that you wish. You can follow us on Twitch at Rabbit Hole Media, and you can subscribe and follow on multiple different podcast services on and around the internet.
Oh, that was very quiet.
Didn't hear a word like that.
Infatti.
The fuck did you just call me?
Exactly.
You know what you should have done? Given the week, we'll address that in a minute. Given the week, you should have done that, and you've got time to do this for the end. In Wakandan.
I mean, that might be difficult.
I think anything's difficult. And don't forget, you can now follow us on Instagram at rabbitholemedia_UK for all of the behind-the-scenes tits and bits. If you would like to support us, you can head to merch.rabbitholemedia.co.uk, where you can buy a wide range of merchandise that will only get wider. And finally, if you are an Amazon Prime member and watching us on Twitch, you get one free Twitch Prime a month with your Amazon Prime subscription. Please find it within yourselves to give that free subscription to us. It will not cost you a penny, but go a long way in helping us bring you the shows that you so love and adore so very much.
Quite.
Week. Rich says, Jack, are you handing in your notice and going to Croatia?
Possibly. Who knows?
I mean, what have you got for you in Croatia? I mean,
Something on Indeed. A Croatian job.
Is Croatia not real? Are they all actors? Are you being hired to be Croatian?
Do you know there's a conspiracy theory that Australia doesn't exist? And that is baffling to me. Absolutely baffling.
That it is that they're all hired to be like kind of like a weird Truman Show type situation.
Yeah, that when you go to Australia, you don't actually go to Australia. And my one question to all of these conspiracy theorists who come up with this nonsense about anything, not just Australia, but to what end?
Yeah.
Why would you make up Australia?
I remember, I'm not going to say names just because it's polite, but some people will know who I'm talking about. There was someone who used to work for a company who used to come to my shop, my current place of work. She worked for an external company.
You said she, I know exactly who it is.
No, you don't.
Do I not?
Doesn't work for my company, works for another company who comes in, she's a rep for another company.
Sorry. You mean current employment?
Yes. Yes. So
I thought you said old employment for some reason.
No. I know who you were thinking of, not her. And she used to tell us that her big thing, her hobby, her big interest was conspiracy theories. Mm. And it came up at the pub with her. Oh, cool. What kind of conspiracies do you like? And she was going on about all these little ones and whatnot. And then someone said, what do you think about the moon landing one? And she went, what moon landing one? That we didn't land on the moon. I haven't heard that one. What? That's the conspiracy theory. How are you like like someone who partakes in conspiracy theory, a conspiracy theorist, if you will, and you don't know of the moon landing conspiracy theory?
Yeah, there's the actual conspiracy theories, which are obviously we didn't land on the moon. No one landed on the moon.
9/11.
Again, to what end? Bush did 9/11.
Coronavirus.
To what end? Currently, coronavirus is a myth.
Yeah.
Coronavirus isn't real. Tell that to the graves.
Yes.
And then the Earth is flat. Now I'm sorry.
That one's mind blowing.
The Earth is. Any flat Earthers out there? Have you ever been atop a hill where you can see the Earth do that?
For audio listeners, Jack is creating a circular motion with his hands. Yes. Jack, should we get into this week's episode?
Let's.
Jack, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance. No, I've been playing the Avengers.
Now, I've not been playing anything, so we're going to take some time now. I'm going to sit back with a cup of tea, chill, and you're going to tell me all about Marvel's The Avengers.
Well, I'm not going to be that detailed. It's good.
No. You be detailed. I want you to explain to me in so much detail that I won't need to play the game. I will feel as though I have played the game. That's how much detail I want you to go into right now.
Well, no, and Marvel's Avengers is good, and I enjoy it, and everyone else, fuck off. Basically, that is my thought on it. I enjoy it. If you don't like it, yeah, fair enough. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea at all. It is very samey, and there are some of the dumbs within this game. Allow me to explain one of the dumbs that is monumentally dumb, and it honestly, I got to that point and I was like, why? I couldn't even get angry at it. It was like, this is the sort of level of stupid in a person or in a thing that you can't get angry at in fear of there being a cause. So, when you do these big open missions and like there is question marks all over the place and you can go and figure out what they are, some of them are just like loot chests and stuff, but they're behind doors that you've got to figure out how to open. Most of the time, fine, whatever. You've got to hit some buttons. But there's the occasional door that needs to be smashed. Fine, no problem. We are surrounded by many smashable beings. That's not what that means.
It's not that Avengers. I mean, if we were talking MCU, I'd be on board. There are many smashable beings in the MCU.
That is true. I mean, there's exclusively smashable
Yeah,
beings in the
that's
MCU, isn't there? Beings who can smash. But
Side note, talking about smashable beings in the MCU, and I feel like both the things I'm about to say to you are going to respond with false, but I'm going to go with them anyway. First of all, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the TV series,
yes,
somewhat part of the MCU spin-off, yeah?
Started off.
Okay, so we're agreeing that's somewhat part of the MCU.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was absolutely intended to be.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to say that I think this person is a smashable being, but specifically, I think that Fitz is one of the best written characters in the Marvel Universe so far, of cinematic film stuff. I think Fitz is fantastic.
Fitz is good.
I'm like halfway through season 5. He's had some ups and downs. Like, we've done the whole thing with him being in the framework now, and he's now just come out of the framework, and like his character and his development across the series, from how he was first off to when he had the trauma and everything, so very good. I've never been more invested in a character in Marvel before.
Fair enough.
I just want to go out and say that. I came to this epiphany earlier today. You reminded me by saying smashable beings in the MCU. He's also a very good-looking man.
Again, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a show full of very attractive beings.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever name she's going by these days. Daisy.
I mean, any of them.
Fitz, Simmons. Any of them. Yeah. The English dude.
Oh yeah, I love him. He's a great character.
Yeah. Bobby's ex. What is his name?
Yeah, why do I remember his name? The English dude.
English dude.
Jason Statham, number 4.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Slightly younger Jason Statham. 90s Statham.
Did you know that Ming-Na Wen, who is
May,
is the original Mulan?
Is she?
She is the voice of Mulan,
I
and
did not know
she's
that.
in the new Mulan briefly at the end.
All right, fair enough.
Briefly, just a little like, yeah, it's Mulan. Anyway, carry on, Marvel.
Fair enough. Yes, Avengers. So, done. Smashable. These doors. However, so once you're
You
in
are
a
now
level...
talking like you're fucking Jeff Goldblum.
Indeed. When
Dumb, smashable. These doors are...
when you're in the level, you can't change characters if you're playing solo. You just can't switch. They're there, but you can't switch between them. Certain characters cannot smash these doors.
I see. Kind of like a Lego type scenario.
Yes. But if you're playing solo, it's tough.
I see. Dumb.
Correct. You cannot command one of the characters, or at least...
I was going to say, that's the way around it. Like, if there's... I assume there's a technical reason why you can't switch characters when you're playing in solo.
I don't know.
I'd assume that'd be why. There must be the technical reason, but surely you can build in the ability to go, you, sir, smash.
And it's the same as well, like only certain characters can hack terminals, but if you're the wrong character, you can't do it.
That's silly.
It's real fucking annoying. And obviously, like, it's so bizarre to me because they're going on about, like, you can play this game multiplayer, but you can play it solo. I was like, well, not really. Because there's stuff I can't do because Hulk is just standing there scratching his fucking giant green balls, not smashing the door. And it gets to a point where it's stupid because then you're Iron Man and you get in the Hulk Buster and you're beating on this door with the same force of the Hulk and it's just doing nothing.
That's
Because you're not doing a particularly programmed move. And you're just like... So you need to be Hulk, Thor, or Ms. Marvel, I think, to do the smashy smash. And Tony Stark or Black Widow to do the... And everyone else, fuck knows. I don't know what Cap's doing.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
But anyway,
I don't know how I feel about this game, full stop.
I enjoy it. So, the campaign missions that are clearly campaign missions are really good, but it's also interjected with what are clearly meant to be these more multiplayer missions. I think it's particularly dumb that some of the campaign you can play in co-op, some of it you can't, which is a problem.
Yep, that's silly.
It's very bad at...
I said, yep, that's silly.
It's very bad at indicating... Like, once you figure it out, once you know what you're looking for to indicate it, then obviously, yeah, you figured it out. But it's very bad at showing you which ones are co-op and which ones are solo. It's very bad at telling you then when you've gone into a co-op one and one you can play as any character that you can now switch.
Right.
So I've now got a much more powerful Iron Man than anyone else because I didn't realise I could switch for ages. So I was just Iron Man for a huge stint. So now I'm in a point where I was like, I've got all these missions, but they're way higher than me level-wise just because I'm fucking, like, I know you got to do, it's so weird. It's so weird how it's laid out. Like, I don't know what missions to do to get myself leveled up to be able to do these higher ones. I don't know. But, yeah, it's particularly so. Gameplay-wise, though, I do like it. I haven't had any particular issues, gameplay-wise, other than some frame rate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It can get quite framey when there's a lot of stuff. And when there's a lot of stuff, it's already hard enough to tell what's going on, let alone when you're going,
oh.
It's not that bad.
Are you doing a review?
I wouldn't even know where to begin.
In which case, if you had to score it right now on the spot.
7.
7's fine.
No, it's a good game. I think I would score it higher once I'm into the swing of it and have actually played some of it in the multiplayer way it's meant to be played.
The end game, if you will.
Yes, I'm in the end game.
The Avengers end game.
I'm in the end game. I've done the campaign.
The Avengers end game.
It took me about an hour to do the campaign.
I'm trying to make a joke about end game.
Yeah, I've noticed. I'm ignoring you.
It's one of those days.
Yeah, I'm in the end game, so Thanos is going to beat me. Some of the complaints I found are particularly strange, in just that it's like, oh no, we'll move on. We'll come back to that. I'm jumping backwards. The biggest thing I'm just like is how they are clearly trying to avoid being the MCU, but also ripping it off to shit, down to exact lines of dialogue.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
And
that
you're
would
just like,
irritate the fuck out of me.
And like, in not as good a context as the MCU was. And as Thor going, fortunately, I am mighty. It worked in the MCU. It didn't work here. Didn't work here. Tony Stark try and keep up whenever he goes on for the thing.
Well, see, I feel like that fortunately I am mighty line works in the context of the MCU because Chris Hemsworth delivers it in such a way.
Travis Willingham is the best performance in that game.
Okay.
Easily. Nolan North is the worst.
I'm not surprised because it's the sort of role he'd just be trying too hard on.
I don't think he's trying at all. He's Drake.
Okay.
To the point where, like...
Well, yeah, that's the other problem with Nolan North. That sense of humor is going to be...
It's Drake. Yeah.
And then that's it. And then you know him as Drake. That would be like if someone were to do a film now, and if someone were to... If they were casting Robert Downey Jr. as Drake in the Uncharted film, you'd go, that's Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like...
Absolutely, but that was the biggest problem, especially when you're only hearing him over the radio. You go,
Yeah.
It's Drake. Like, you've done nothing.
I noticed that anyway. When I was playing it, it was just like, yeah, all I can hear is Nathan Drake. And all I could hear from Troy Baker was, like, because he's just doing it in his voice, I was hearing it as, that's clearly Troy Baker, and that's clearly Sam, is what I was hearing.
Sam
Drake.
Oh! Sorry.
Like, that's how I was hearing it, because it plays...
Oh, when I think of Troy Baker's actual voice, I don't even think of Sam Drake. That's me, though. Obviously, everyone would think of, oh my good lord. Each person will think of a different game. Yeah. For me, I think of Bioshock Infinite.
That's fair. I don't have a history of Bioshock, so...
I think of Booker DeWitt or Infamous, Second Son.
That's fair, yeah.
Because it's actually his face as well. But no, Troy Baker's good in it, obviously. Troy Baker's good in everything. It's not a standout performance of his. He's very quiet and subdued because he's Bruce Banner. I do think the strangest decision was not swapping them, Nolan North and Troy Baker. Why was Troy Baker not Iron Man?
I agree. That would be a much better choice.
Yeah. Laura Bailey in it. Look, nothing to fault her performance at all. But Travis Willingham is good. Is real good. Thor's good. I reckon he's going to become my main going into the multiplayer stuff, leveling up all of Thor and what have you. But anyway, what I was going to say was that I've seen a lot of criticism on like the lack of villains and stuff. I was like, well, yeah, it's a short story about one particular villain. The one thing everybody complains about with movies and stuff is that they've added too many villains.
Yeah, that's because people just... That is because whenever you get this kind of stuff, people can't figure out what their problem is with the game, so they find other things.
They just spout shit.
Yeah.
And
like I have... So Basel Debater, I don't like that game.
That's fair.
But I can tell you what I don't like about it. And it's not some stupid thing like
they didn't have Loki in it.
It's
they
as
didn't have
simple
Thanos. And my thing was, that's because that's the movies.
Yeah. But it's as simple as, I don't like the type of game they've made.
That's fair.
That's it. That's all it is. Like, it seems like they've done a good job of making the type of game they've made, but I'm not interested in playing that type of game, or at least not at the moment.
That's fair enough. That's totally fair enough. Yeah. As I say, like, it's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's fair enough. But speaking of cup of tea, almost just drowned on tea. Rich, I'm having a terrible day.
I can see a world where that is my type of game, and and other games which have been my type of game. Like,
Destiny.
yeah. I think for me, it's the combination of that and the kind of beat 'em up nature of it together. It just doesn't do it for me because it's not what I want from an Avengers game. And it's a me problem. It's a me going, this is just not what I want from it.
No, it's not what I would want. I'm enjoying it anyway, just because Avengers.
Yeah,
But
which we said, you always said you would for weeks. And even when they announced it, we went, we don't know what it is, and we were very confused. You were like, I'm going to play it, and I'm going to enjoy it anyway.
yeah. So Rich had a couple of problems, and also Lewis from work as well, where he was fighting Abomination, who then just vanished.
Ah,
That was in the beta, and then Lewis had it in the actual game.
good.
I haven't had that.
No, I'm not fussed by the game at all either, Rich. Not in the slightest. Like, I have no desire. I have more desire to try and find the money to buy Tony Hawk's right now,
That's fair.
or PGA Tour. Like, both of those
That's not
games
fair.
are more appealing to me than playing.
I mean, that's absolutely fair enough. As like, this is not going to be the same base level of appeal as Spider-Man has. It just isn't. I reckon.
I do think that's a shame, though, and I do think that Square Enix have missed a trick there, because I feel like if the aim was to do that, then they would. I think they would have got a better result. I reckon they would have ended up with, in theory, if they got it right. This is saying if they got it right and they actually pulled off and made a good game, they'd get a better reception and better sales. I think a lot of people will be going into this not realizing what it is, not understanding what it is. I think there's definitely a lot of people going into it assuming it was going to be another Spider-Man type thing, because people don't pay attention. That's their own fault, but I feel like people will be looking for that from an Avengers game. So I think if Square Enix had made the choice to go that way and do something like that, I think they would be looking at higher sales and stuff like that. Assuming they did it well, of course they could fuck that up. Like, I
think there was a higher chance of them fucking it up than what they've got at the moment.
You okay?
No, I am not.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I'm allergic to masks apparently, and then I'm a fucking drowning in tea. I've had too many biscuits. I got glass in my hand. I spray myself in the face with screen cleaner. I've had a day.
There is a lot of dust floating around.
And
this
there's a lot
house
of
as
dust
well.
flying around. So
This room's okay, but it's still.
And it's the day I quit. So, smoking.
Oh, I see. The day you quit. I was like, so you are moving to Croatia? I'm so confused.
No, the day I quit smoking.
I see.
So I'm also very antsy. But
Rich has now come up again and said Tony Hawk's is worth it. Amazing soundtrack, great gameplay, amazing nostalgia for older gamers like me. I mean, I've heard a lot of people tell me that it just feels right.
that fucking video. That was the worst thing by the worst person. I'm not going to say who it is. But fuck that guy.
God, that's funny.
Anyway.
Should we do some vaguely planned news?
Not yet.
Oh, sorry. I shot my face.
The general reception online, like actually online from people, is quite good.
Absolutely.
So I think it's actually going to do better than we think it is.
Oh,
I don't think it's going to do holy shit
I
amazing.
don't doubt it will do well. But my point is, if someone was to put out a game in the style of in the vein of Spider-Man, it's an Avengers game with the quality of Spider-Man, they're fucking laughing.
Absolutely. They're absolutely.
I know that's not an easy thing to do.
No, it definitely isn't. But I mean, I think Square Enix are laughing at this point as well.
They're
anyway.
probably doing all right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you could do that with the Avengers. I think you could take those characters individually and do it. I don't know if you could do it with the Avengers.
I would say that there probably is a way, but not way that anyone's figured out yet.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think what could be what we had discussion a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
If Rocksteady don't fuck up, Suicide Squad could be that introduction into this is how you do it.
No, Suicide Squad I think is going to be another Avengers type game.
Maybe that's a rumor, but we don't know that.
No, we don't know. I'm just saying I think.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if that's what Suicide Squad does go down to try and be, that kind of a typical Rocksteady story, but not multiplayer,
co-op,
multi-character. I know it's co-op as well.
It's also co-op, which it's 4-player co-op, which is
4-player co-op. Yeah.
So it's
that is the only thing that makes me feel like it's not. But I think it is possible because I personally feel like, I know you're not a big fan of this game, but I feel like the way Rockstar dealt with the multi-character system in GTA 5 works really well.
Yeah, but that's not co-op.
No, I'm talking about just as an Avengers style game in general with multiple characters. That's an open world story game.
Yeah, but this is clearly just a theory. But the reason I think they wouldn't be able to do it with Avengers, with Spider-Man, is because those characters would function and play so completely different
That absolutely,
that you wouldn't be able to apply that level of polish.
Yeah. You're correct. That's the hardest bit, and I think because that's where personally I feel the current Avengers falls down so much.
Yeah, they have different animations, different moves, different abilities and stuff like that, and you do play them differently, as in you would do things differently. But
the core
functionally
system is the same.
They are the same.
Yeah.
I don't know how. That's the thing. I don't know how you would get around that because you wouldn't be able to make things so utterly fundamentally different. Like when Spider-Man comes in, I don't know how they're going to work the control system in for him to just be able to swing. I don't know. The maps don't really allow for it either. So it's just, are you just running as Spider-Man, or are we going to get a 2021 game where he's swinging off clouds? I don't know.
Probably.
We will see. One thing I was like, I'm very confused by was they've obviously announced Hawkeye. Great, awesome. I hope they don't fuck it up because bow and arrow,
best
video game weapon.
That should be a video we do at some point, by the way.
Best video game
5
weapons.
best video game weapons.
Absolutely, that could be the next one. Spoilers.
Number one is the bow and arrow.
Number one's the bow and arrow. Yeah. They also released a trailer for Kate Bishop.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
I was like, so you're telling me number 1 and number 2 for the DLC released characters are Hawkeye and Hawkeye. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping it's kind of that is a trailer for like the Hawkeye story. But then what? But Kate Bishop seemed like a playable character, so do you get 2 out of that? Like that would make sense. Like if Hawkeye included both Hawkeyes, that'd be quite cool.
We'll see. We shall
see. The thing I'm looking forward to the most with that game is just literally seeing what characters they do.
And seeing how they all work and stuff like that, I assume.
Yeah, like just seeing what they do. They did weasel their way out of Hank Pym Ant-Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was some weird experimenting on him. They altered his genome so if he shrank, he'd die.
I'm out.
He's not a player. I mean, they could easily just do Scott Lang.
God, that irritates me. Jack, should we do some vaguely planned news?
Let's.
What news do we have this week, Jack? Not so much. You've got the information, but I've got the headlines. Witcher 3.
I've only got the information for that one.
Oh, I see. Well, Witcher 3 is coming to next gen.
Why?
Well,
Other than money, why?
you say other than money, it's free.
Oh.
If you've got it on current gen, it's free.
Oh.
So you can buy a next gen version if you don't have it, but if you've already got a PS4 Xbox One version, it's a free upgrade.
Oh.
My guess would be...
I think Remedy need to have
Remedy needs to have a
real think about what they're doing, don't they?
Yeah.
Because it's an older game, was pretty much the route they went down. It's like, motherfucker, this game came out closer to the launch of the PS4 than the PS5.
Yeah.
Or the Xbox One to the Series X. But no one cares about those, let's be fucking real. But it's still getting a free... I mean, I will never, ever play it, but I'd rather...
Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think I'll go back to it. I loved it when I played it, but I can't see...
Oh, no, it's a fantastic game, but I can't see myself ever...
I imagine there are a lot of people that still play that game. It's very loved. And I imagine that... I know already PC versions go mad in graphical fidelity on Witcher 3. So it'd be a case of, we can do it on console now, and people love this game, we'll just do that. That won't take much effort.
No, I do kind of wish they'd actually just spent the time doing it for fucking Cyberpunk.
Oh, yeah, I know.
As opposed to Witcher.
But I assume because the work's primarily done on The Witcher, it's not too much cost or effort for them to just print a PS5 and an Xbox Series X version, because the core designing is there. Like, it will just be the high-end PC port. Not port, but it'll be the high-end PC version. It won't be any more
but you would have
than
to... That's the thing, you would have to port it and make sure it works. it would still take time.
I don't know how much you would have to do though, because the core game is there on the current gen on the consoles already. The only difference is like they're higher textures and it can do ray tracing and stuff like that. I imagine that's not much of a patch. I imagine that's a case of just then in your core PS4 code that already exists, you just say, I want these files instead of I want these files. Done. I would assume. I know I don't know anything about video games.
I was going to say, I imagine it's a hell of a lot more complicated than that. Otherwise, Cyberpunk would not be an issue.
In layman's terms, though, because of the work's already been done, Cyberpunk, you're talking a new game, which is having to be done from scratch anyway.
Yeah, but it would be the same thing for PC. It would be.
Assuming it is already on PC like that. Because Witcher 3 wasn't like that at launch on PC. That's been added later. They've gone back and added HDR. They've gone back and added ray tracing. They've gone back and added. I kind of feel
that's more the fact that it came out in 2015.
Agreed. Yes.
So it's kind of like if you release a game like Cyberpunk without HDR and without
that'd be
ray tracing,
a terrible thing to do
on PC in 2020, you will be laughed out the room. Like, fuck you, bye.
Hot take. I think Cyberpunk's going to be laughed out of the room anyway.
I don't think it's going to be that great.
I think Cyberpunk's going to be one of the most disappointing games.
Oh, absolutely.
But only because it has so much
hype.
Unfounded hype.
Yeah.
People were hyped about this game before we knew what it was, just because it was being made, but
I've never liked that approach. Like, yeah, okay, I've understood being excited, intrigued to find out
what a studio is doing.
What a studio is doing, absolutely. And when they announce a game, I am excited to know more. But I've never understood they just be excited and this game's going to be the best thing ever just because that happened.
I think
how many times do you get burnt by that?
I think there is reasons that can be accepted with very particular studios, like Naughty Dog, for example. It's fair to assume that what they make is going to be stellar because they've not had a miss yet.
They've not had a miss. Well, obviously, in the general opinion, they've not had a miss. But also, it's franchises.
They are franchises, yeah. But I think when it's a game like studio like CD Projekt Red, which have only made The Witcher, and then it was only really The Witcher 3 that got this huge acclaim. Like the other Witcher games were fine. It was only The Witcher 3 that got this fucking hell. How have they done this type thing? And then they announce a game called Cyberpunk 2077. They show us nothing about it. Just a Twitter. Wasn't it just a Twitter as when it first got announced? Yeah. And everyone lost their shit. And it's like, is it going to be this incredible? We don't even know what it is. And yeah, the game looks like it could be really cool. It could be really interesting.
I don't think the game will be anything less than great, but great is going to be disappointing for what people want and expect from this game. And
I think there's absolutely a possibility that this game could be stunning. Could well be. But I don't think it is going to be. I don't think it's going to be at all. I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think it's going to be your average RPG that I don't finish.
Most likely because it'll be too big knowing CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, they're going to go, this game will take you 200 hours just for that frying pan side quest Easter egg that you got from The Witcher 3. Like, he can burn in fucking hell.
Because that was the only problem with The Witcher 3.
It's too big, too much, didn't finish it.
I think I finished a campaign, but I definitely didn't fucking finish it because it was like, I've done 8 days of game time on this and I've enjoyed those 8 days, but now I'm done. I'm just done.
I didn't even do that. I didn't finish the campaign. It was just like, this is too long. Like, it got to a point where I was like 50 hours in and I felt nothing towards complete. That's why I gave up on like Odyssey and stuff. It's just when your time feels like it's going nowhere. You're just like, I can't be bothered. I need a sense of progression, not just a number that's saying you've done this or a tick next to a quest. That doesn't fucking matter. So I'll play CD Projekt Red, obviously. I'll play Cyberpunk, obviously. But even when Naughty Dog inevitably announce a new IP as their next game, I'm not going to be instantly, this is the best thing ever.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, I will have the approach of, I assume this is going to be good, but I'm well aware it might not be.
Because The Last of Us, I was like, ooh. Yeah. When they announced that, I was like, ooh. I mean, and then I played it and I was a wreck for a week, but... Yeah.
See, my thing with The Last of Us was I thought everything they showed about it looked really interesting and looked really cool, and obviously technically looked very impressive.
Yeah, that's not what I was wincing at, but it was more the concept. Like, ooh,
I was the same.
Different.
Yeah, I was the exact same. And I don't typically like survival, quote unquote survival games or horror-y games.
Nope.
So for me, it was like, I don't know. And then, fucking, well, you know my opinions on that.
Well,
game,
yes,
so.
The Last of Us happened, and it was like, oh, damn.
Yeah, and I don't need to continue my opinions on that franchise.
Oh,
Jack.
Damn.
I've just written Mario collection thing.
Yes. So, basically, discover 3 of Mario's grandest 3D adventures with Super Mario 3D All-Stars on Nintendo Switch. This special bundle includes Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy, all optimized for Nintendo Switch, with updated HD graphics, Joy-Con controls, as well as a music player featuring the epic soundtracks from all 3 games. With a twist! Please note, Super Mario 3D All-Stars can only be purchased until March 31st, 2021. Owners can still play its entire contents after this date has passed, and can also be re-downloaded it from the Nintendo eShop if the software has been archived.
What a strange decision.
It's stupid.
I can't understand what the reason would be behind that.
Stupidity. No, I can't either. It's
My only assumption is it's a weird marketing thing they're trying.
okay.
It has a mind of its own. A weird marketing
It's
thing.
a rogue.
Oh.
What is happening?
One of us must be putting on the
you've got the cable.
It's me. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. For audio listeners, I'm just fucking up everything. Don't worry about it. I can only assume it's some kind of marketing thing they're trialing on the idea of if we make this timed, maybe more people will buy it now. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if I don't care for this game anyway. I don't care for Mario. I know people do, and I'm sure people will be pleased and hard for this. But
I would
just think
prefer
that's
to
all
be able
weird.
to buy them individually.
I imagine a lot of people echo that thought.
Because I just want sunshine. Sorry, I'm not bored of it. I just want sunshine and then yawn. I just want Mario Sunshine. I don't care for Galaxy. Super Mario 64 is like the most overrated game in the world.
Ooh, hot takes this week. Hot takes.
Spicy takes. A mild korma of takes.
That's all we have for news.
Yeah, the fuck all's happened.
Basically, that's all we have for the show. I would like to put forward a waste of time award.
Oh.
Do you remember the jingle?
No.
I think it was something along the lines of waste of time award.
Spicy content. From
My waste of time award for this week is the entirety of 2020.
I don't know what we're going to do next week.
I'm just going to get increasingly angrier about the fact that we still don't know when the next gen consoles are coming out and how much they're going to be. Every week, I'm already angry about it, and I'm just going to get angrier and angrier and angrier. I can't understand how it's still going on. Like, when will this end? It's not going to. Colin Moriarty tweeted the other day something along the lines of, if you think this is good, you're going to hear this soon, keep dreaming. Like, fuck it. Like, what? What? When? How? I don't understand. It blows my mind. Blows my mind.
I believe that if you want one on day one, you're going to have to fillet an elder. You're going to have to push a lot of people down the fucking stairs. And it's just going to be like the Purge outside of Game in Red Hill. It's just going to be a fucking brawl. There's going to be like riots in the streets. There will be murder.
Everyone will be wearing masks, though, and keep it safe.
No, they won't. People are fucking idiots. Like 95% of the population is stupid enough.
Yeah, it's something about like the coronavirus is a real threat because of how dense the population is, but it's also a real threat because of how dense the population is.
Yes, absolutely. Solid skulls. Yeah. Nothing in there.
Yeah, my mum sent me a link to that thing on Facebook. Someone had written that, and someone had commented like, "But I don't understand because you said the same point twice."
You are one of these people.
What's you've said the same point twice, so what's point number 2? You are point number 2.
You are point number 2. You are dense. But no, it's literal madness. It's insanity. I think if it gets to the first episode of Press Start in October and nothing, which is very likely, so look forward to this. It's just going to be an episode I will scream cunt for the entire duration. I will just scream the house down. It's like, we need to know. We need plans. Where are we going to buy it from? Like, it's just going to happen on a mid-fucking Tuesday afternoon, isn't it? You can pre-order it now.
It'll just be it'll be a fucking blog post. It'll be a blog post, and it'll be carnage, and we'll be at work going, well, fuck.
Yeah, we're not going to get one until 2025. Excellent, because like,
and even then, people still won't know how much it is.
Yeah, I know. Colin Moriarty is still going on about how like he's really, really fucking hoping, but thinks it will be another Wii situation. Nintendo Wii.
What? Well, you just can't get hold of them.
You just can't get them.
Yep.
People couldn't get hold of a Nintendo Wii for about 2 years.
Yep, and I think it's absolutely going to be the case. And I think it's because they've done shit marketing. And I also think that the thing is, I just don't. The date's one thing. The date is one thing. The price, I just don't understand why you wouldn't be talking about the price.
I don't know. I think it probably is, but I don't want to believe that it's just a pissing contest.
Right
still.
now, more than people already need to know how much they need to put aside, but right now more than ever, people need to know how much they need to put aside, because people are losing jobs left, right, and centre. We're about to probably see the largest spate of evictions we've ever seen. Like, we're about to hit a huge fucking recession. Bearing in mind that the PS3 console cycle was delayed because of a fucking recession when no one was fucking buying shit, so they didn't bother making consoles. Like, you need to get these consoles launched now, well before it's too fucking late. Like, I don't get it. I just don't understand. And when you look at Sony in particular, I know Xbox are doing the same thing, but Sony in particular, when they got the marketing for the PS4 so right, how have they got this so wrong so far?
The thing is, like, I cannot possibly fathom what the downside of them just saying.
No, I've said this before as well, because I also don't see a problem. Let's put this forward. Let's say Sony come out, and let's just, numbers off the top of my head. What the numbers are not relevant, but just numbers off the top of my head. Let's say they come out and say the digital version of the console is $450 and the disc version of the console is £600. Right? Let's say they just come out and say that next week, in however they do it, right? And then Microsoft come out, because they go, they've gone first. They come out and it's £400 for the digital thing and £500 for the other one. There is nothing at any point there to stop Sony later on changing pricing. They can do that. They can absolutely go later on down the line, guess what? We've dropped the price.
Yep.
We found a way, then they can make up some PR bullshit of, we found a way of changing production, means our production costs are lower, therefore we're going to drop the price.
Pretty much, but I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's so stupid. Like, it's just going to be madness. And I fucking cannot fathom. Like, honest to God, PlayStation don't even need to worry about the Xbox anymore. It doesn't matter if the Xbox was £150. Exactly. No one cares.
Sorry, I was just thinking about the pricing point of thing, because there is a possibility that they can't necessarily do that. There might be some kind of laws that stop them, because there are pricing laws. But what you can do is announce an RRP but launch at a lower price. You can do that. You can come out and say the RRP is going to be this much. It's going to be £500. That's what the RRP is.
That would still hinder people pre-ordering, though.
It might do.
Not hinder, but stop people.
Perhaps. But they can do that. But then at a later date, we're going to have a launch offer where at launch it's going to be this much. And then it will go back up again in January to the RRP. Like, you can do that. That's the thing you're allowed to do. So there is, either way, there is a way around it. There's a way of, if they need to adjust their pricing to be cheaper than Microsoft, whatever they're trying to do, they can do that. Or vice versa. If Microsoft need to try and be cheaper. I just don't and as you say, PlayStation have no real reason, because like, there isn't a huge competition between Microsoft and them right now. If anything, we've said before, Microsoft aren't even in that they're not even trying. They're not that worried. I don't think Microsoft are expecting or even care if they outsell a PlayStation right now.
I mean, they can expect, but it won't happen.
But even if they were, I don't think...
I don't think they care, no.
They clearly don't. They're trying to sell Game Pass. They're not trying to sell you a console. Like, that much is obvious. And there are still people out there trying to preach that they are. It's like, why do you care what they're trying to sell? They're not. Like, they're not, and that's fine. That's okay. I've seen people on Twitter still going on about, Microsoft is doing a better job. No, just shut up. No, they're not, because they're not trying to. Fuck yourself. And I hate Twitter. I hate everything. This has turned me on in a terrible way. I give up. I quit. You're over. You host the show. I've dropped that.
He's acting like he's left, but he's just standing by the door looking at me. No, it's all outrageously stupid. I don't understand what is stopping them from just, here we go, here's the date, here's the price, whatever. Like, fuck it, whatever. Just give us a price and give us pre-orders. Like, that website that PlayStation released to pre-order directly through them is only in North America. Mm-hmm. And even then it's fucking like concentration camp style of pre-ordering, because it's like, we're looking at your profiles to see how much activity you have and then doing a lottery based on that. And it's like, what? No. Surely, if anything, you don't want to create this fucking elitist class of pre-orders. You want to entice people who might be jumping from Xbox to PS5, people who might be getting a console for the first time this generation. Like, you want to entice those people in, because you know the people who are on PS4 ecosystem like hardcore are going to be getting a PS5. So what's the fucking what? Stop advertising to them. You know, all you needed to say was PS5, and everyone was like, sick, like, done. Like, that's all the hardcore gamers for the hardcore game. I hate that fucking thing. I hate that phrase. But all the mainline gamers for PlayStation, that's all you needed to do. Literally just say PS5. Sold. Like us. PS5. Sold. But this is taking the piss now.
Yeah, I'm actually so angry. I've got myself so riled up in the past 5 minutes. I don't want to do this anymore. So this has been Press Start, your weekly video game podcast, right here on Rabbit Hole Media. Don't forget, if you like what you're doing and what you've been doing is watching us getting to a tiff. You can follow us on Twitter at rabbithole_UK. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, where you can see us anytime that you wish. You can follow us on Twitch at Rabbit Hole Media, and you can subscribe and follow on multiple different podcast services on and around the internet.
Please hold.
I'm holding patiently. Audio listeners are confused. There are no audio listeners. Who am I kidding?
Faktisk.
Did
she just say fuck this? Because I concur.
Faktisk.
What does it say?
Fuck tisk.
Fuck tisk.
Fuck.
I agree. Fuck this. And you can now follow us on Instagram at rabbitholemedia_UK for all the behind the scenes tits and bits. You can, if you'd like to support us, head to merch.rabbitholemedia.co.uk, where you can buy a wide range of merchandise that will only get wider. And finally, if you are an Amazon Prime member and you are watching us live on Twitch, you get one free Twitch Prime membership a month with your Amazon subscription. Please find it within yourself to give that free subscription to us. It will not cost you a penny, but go a long way in helping us create the content that you are watching.
Quite.
Jack, bearing in mind that I kind of need to go to the toilet, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, I'd like to read the entirety of the Bible.
Absolutely not. Until next time, we shall see you then.
Good.